If you have children, you know that you can pick out the cry of your baby from a room full of crying infants. You also know the difference between the "I'm in a bad mood" cry and "I'm in trouble" cry. How do we learn to distinguish those things? It was from spending time with our child. We listened and we learned. In the same way, we need to learn to hear the voice of God's Spirit. Who have you been listening to? Why are you doing the things you're doing? Are you living the way you're living because you want the approval of people? Are you going through life seeking the world's applause, or are you living the life you're living because you want to please Christ and because you're listening to His Spirit? There are only two ways to live, according to the flesh or according to the Spirit. If you've been living according to the flesh, you need to repent and allow the Holy Spirit to take leadership of your life. Dallas Willard wrote, "Christian spiritual formation is inescapably a matter of recognizing in ourselves the idea system or systems of evil that governs the present age and the respective culture or various cultures that constitute life away from God. The needed transformation is very largely a matter of replacing in ourselves those idea systems of evil and their corresponding cultures with the idea system that Jesus Christ embodied and taught, and with the culture of the kingdom of God. This is truly a passage from darkness to light." End quote. After He has implanted new life from above in us by word and spirit, we can and must also begin to take initiative in progressively retaking the whole of our thought life for God's kingdom. His grace will accompany us every step of the way, but it will never permit us to be merely passive in our spiritual formation in Christ. In Romans chapter 12, Paul tells us not to be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of our minds, that by testing you may discern what the will of God is, if it's good and acceptable and perfect. We are transformed by the renewal of our minds. When we present our bodies completely and wholly to Him as a living sacrifice, He is then enabled to have full control of who we are. This is a decisive moment of full surrender that sets us free from the mindset and set of values that is centered on oneself. A mindset that serves self subordinates commitment to convenience and devotion to our natural desires. God enables us to be freed from self-centered thinking so that we can actively think on what we ought to think on because our minds have been renewed. In other words, He enables us to direct our minds so that we can discern the will of God. Christ calls us to put to death the deeds of the flesh, to present ourselves as a living sacrifice, to be transformed by the renewal of our minds. Why? So He can fill us with Himself. This is what holiness and entire sanctification is all about. Christ renewing our minds and filling us with His presence so that we can reflect Him to the world. In the 3 devotionals I have shared with you, we've seen that for the unbeliever, merely setting one's mind will never free them from sin. Only Jesus can do that when we place our faith in Him. Then we saw how, as Christians, we've been given the presence of the Holy Spirit who empowers us to live God's way. And one of the keys to living God's way as a Christian is dependent upon what we set our minds on. In this devotional, we've seen that God wants our minds to be renewed so that we can discern the will of God. So have you been transformed by the renewing of your mind? Have you presented yourself fully and completely to Him? If not, why don't you spend some time right now talking to Him and make that full presentation of yourself today?